my name is Jessica Bartelle, and I chose to study the artist Raphael and examine how his art shows spiritual belief. Artists oftentimes portray their spiritual aspirations and religious beliefs through their artwork and how they feel about the outer world in their artwork. Artists have the ability to create a particular spiritual experience that took place in their life or sometimes throughout history and paint it or use it as like architecture. But most importantly, art plays a vital role in connecting the spiritual world with the spiritual states of being. Raphael was born on April 6, 1483 to his father and mother. And in Raphael's early years, his father, who was a painter, himself trained Raphael. And after his father's passing in 1494, Raphael received further training and in 1500 received his first commission, which was an altarpiece dedicated to Saint Nicholas of Tolentino. But however, this altarpiece was damaged in an earthquake, and today only bits and pieces of it remain around the world. And as the years passed, Raphael received more and more commissions and eventually became known as one of the great masters of his era. So the first piece of artwork is the Alba Madonna, which was an oil painting that was painted in 1510 by Raphael himself. And this piece depicts Mary, Jesus, and John the Baptist in an Italian countryside facing the cross. The Alba Madonna takes after Raphael's Roman style of art because of the painting's delicacy of color and the mood it creates. The Alba Madonna aligns with the theme of spiritual belief because of the draping and the color of Mary's cloak. Her cloak dominates the scene and unifies the three figures in the picture because they both rest seamlessly within it. And this idea represents the harmonious and composition and the peace of the Holy Family. The next piece of artwork is the Coronation of the Virgin, which was started in 1502 and ended in 1504. This piece was one of Raphael's larger pieces of artwork. It was completed shortly after his apprenticeship. The movement of the figures, the diagonal positioning of the sarcophagus, and the depth of the landscape point to the style of Raphael. And the Coronation of the Virgin aligns with the theme of spiritual belief because the upper portion of the painting shows Mary being crowned by Jesus Christ and angels singing all around her. And the lower portion shows the apostles gathered around Mary in an empty tomb, meaning her body was lifted up to heaven without any damage. The next piece of artwork is the Transfiguration, and this one has the most spiritual meaning out of all of the other paintings that I have examined in this study. But the Transfiguration was painted between 1516 and 1520, and this was the last piece of artwork created by Raphael before his untimely death at the age of 37. This painting pointed towards advanced indications of mannerism, which can be seen through the slender, elongated limbs and the twisting and turning of the figures. The Transfiguration has a lot of spiritual meaning, and this painting draws a picture of humans and the divine and all-powerful nature of Jesus. Jesus is a light in this painting, while the uncured sick boy represents the darkness, evoking emotions and meaning for the viewer. The Transfiguration shows how Jesus is connected to heaven and earth, and as people we can find rest in him. And the second to last piece of artwork is the La Belle Jardinière. The La Belle Jardinière was one of Raphael's most well-known paintings, and most well-known Madonna painting. And it was started in 1507 by Raphael and finished in 1508 by Rodolfo. This painting gives a feeling of tranquility because of the fields and the rolling hills and the baby blue sky, but it also points to life beyond the figures because of the buildings in the background. La Belle Jardiniere shows the intimate relationship Jesus and Mary shared with John the Baptist as the witnesses. The red dress Mary is wearing in this painting symbolizes the Passion of the Christ, and the blue cloak symbolizes the church. And the last piece of artwork is the Deposition. The Deposition was an oil painting that was painted by Raphael in 1507, and the Deposition shares the elements of the deposition of Christ, the lamentation of Christ, and the entombment of Christ. And this piece aligns with the idea of spiritual belief because it is considered to be a narrative, meaning it tells a story of the final days of Jesus' life. And to conclude, Raphael was a strong believer in God, and he believed that he was called by God to revitalize Catholic art in America. And this can be seen throughout all of his pieces because they all never fail to tell a powerful biblical story, whether it's one story put into one piece of artwork or two different Bible stories that create a new masterpiece. Raphael hoped to enlighten those viewing his art on how beautiful and important a relationship with Jesus Christ truly is.